Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back. And of course, we're going to dive right into module two talking about the sex wound. And as you already know, everything is interconnected, everything is one. But when it comes to the sex wound, that energy of ecstasy and life force itself, it is one of the deepest wound that we have, especially as priestesses, and this is completely rooted into duality. So let's talk about this in terms of consciousness. So we already know that we are living gods and God is having his experience through us. And when God is having its experience through us, that means anything can happen. When your soul decides to come here, anything can happen. Anything is game. Okay, so now pain can be pleasurable or pain can be awfully rigid. And when it comes to that sexual wound, what's happening is I experience it in both pain and pleasure. I got raped, painful. I got molested, pleasure. And I understand where the shame can come from when something can be pleasurable, but at the same time hurtful. Hurtful because it was done without my consent. It was done to harm me. It was done to take my innocence. And while all these things are happening, okay, the same pain or pleasure, again, duality and polarity, we navigating both ends. All my soul is experiencing is to overcome my own sexual misfit. After this thing happened to me, two things can happen, by the way, when we experience sexual abuse. Two things can happen. Okay. The first one that can happen, you become promiscuous and it no longer because you want to have your power back. So now you become the controller. I'm gonna get sex. I'm gonna do those things while I'm not feeling anything. And then the other side part of it is we become the victim. Because of it, we can no longer receive or give pleasure. So whichever phase you get into, it is not something that is going to stop you from feeling again as we reopen those channels so you can understand what is happening. So the next part of the sex wound is due to sexual orientation, which is one of the things that I bite my tongue to talk about. But when it comes to that pain of not knowing who you are, or you are in a woman body but you feel like a man, therefore you gay, or you are a woman, okay, you are a woman living as a man, therefore you gay. Whatever, however you see gayness is, or you are a man living in a woman body, therefore you gay. Okay, and we are judged. Why are we judged if it's God having experience through us? Why are we judged if our soul is genderless, right? The real thing is your soul is genderless. Yes, you may physically look like a man, you may physically look like a woman, but you feel like you are something else because your soul is genderless. Or some people that say, okay, well, I prefer both. It doesn't matter. It is how God chooses to experience. So, which is where, again, sex is very well correlated with the religion wound because religion is telling you this is a sin. So, we understand why, okay? Because that's their set of beliefs. But what is your set of beliefs? Right? That is their set of belief. Everyone are allowed, or every community is allowed to have their own set of beliefs. And even here, you don't have to agree with me or disagree with me. But the point of this lesson is for you to understand that when your soul decided to come here, your soul decided to feel pleasure or pain through sex. And of course, your soul also decide how exactly it will happen. Okay. It also pick up souls that said, well, I'm gonna be the bad guy because this need to be experienced in order for me to be able to teach that. This I need to experience that in order for me to overcome, so I have a story to tell. So what we have to understand when it comes to developing yourself, rise into our witchiness, rise into goddesshood, it is to bless you. It is understanding the value of the soul navigating from above, from the ether to drop into a body, okay? Sperm, make babies, become human, equal a person living with a soul. So when this is happening, we have to understand the likeness. It's not severe, but the likeness and the possibility of God being genderless, of God has no form, of God is just light. So whatever it is, however we choose to experience ourselves, we light. We just light. We are just energy that literally sparkles. We are a field of energy that sparkles. So if, in fact, okay, we have no gender, we are human, on earth is the only place there is, okay, men and women. Everywhere else, every sex is interchangeable. Well, I can't speak. Everywhere else, every being is in a and well, shapeshifter. Let's just say shapeshifter. Okay, every being is a shapeshifter, so they can be men, they can be women. If Earth is the only rigid place that we are only one thing, so of course there's going to be that confusion of, but what the fuck am I? Am I a boy? Am I a girl? And if I'm a girl, can I accept being a girl if I don't feel like a girl? Or if I'm a boy, can I accept being like a boy if I don't feel like a boy? And of course you're going to have to go to the scrutiny of the beautiful realm of earth so you can overcome judgment, right? And judgment is a gene key that I work with. So people that have to overcome their own self judgment and the judgment of the world so they can be determined to become what they come here to do. So into the next video, we're going to dive into opening up the channel, okay, as when we get into session itself where we're going to start into deeper healing diving. But now I want you to understand what sex is and sexual orientation. So and the next one, we're going to go to that beautiful exercise where you're going to learn to embody pleasure through sex. So everything that I do, it's both physical, mental, emotional. So you can embody it through see, belief, and feel. Okay. So we're going to learn how to use our energy center to loop that kundalini to ignite into Shakti so that life force can serve us not just when we're having sex for 2 seconds, but we can breathe it in, breathe it out, and build that beautiful effortless life in everything that we do. That's what magnetism is somebody into their sexiness. Okay, so I will see you into the next one as we go deeper into embodying the sexual energy, and into our session we'll go into healing your sex one, whether you can feel the orgasm, have an orgasm, not being able to embody sexiness, get into the goddess archetype, get into your Venus energy so you can both attract money, men, and luxury, whatever the heck you desire. But we're going to go way deep into whatever that means for you to be into your sexual energy to rise.